everybody, it's Magic and Papa Dude show here on Saturday, February 10th. And Papa Dude, it's been a rough couple of days for us. We had an unbelievable January, and then February hit, and we're getting kicked in the ass left and right.
We rarely go 0-3 2 days in a row. We really
never do.
Well, somebody usually hits one to save the day, and I guess we had been doing too well, and the gambling gods have got us. And you had a tough loss again. I don't know about Aaron's horse. I had a game last night, 49-47. Come on.
When I saw that score, I went to check on it sometime last night, and I saw that, and I was like, oh, they must have just started the second half.
Yes.
And then I was like, oh, final?
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
If I'd have thought, okay, Dayton's going to go on the road, and the other team is going to score 49, we got this puppy. And neither team could score. It was a defensive struggle, and shoot, when you lose those, you just shrug your shoulders and say, what the heck?
Yeah. Aaron twice at Charlestown, twice has gotten burned on that one. He didn't go to Charlestown today. That's the good news for everybody, is that we're not doing no Charlestown talk on the show today. But he had another favorite at Charlestown, and this time it finished third. It wasn't as good as yesterday, blew the turn. Mine, I had a 3-1 shot that went off. It was 3-1 morning line. It was 7-5 at one point, and then went back up to 3-1 at Penn National, because the betting there is goofy. But I thought, oh my gosh, we've got a 3-1. Looked so good down the backstretch, had the lead, and just it turned the corner and decided it was done running for the day, and almost re-rallied. Like, the horse that passed it was so bad that my horse actually came back. Wasn't the favorite. I was so excited. We got 3-1. It's going to make up for all of the losses that we had. So nope, just added to it.
I know. It's a mess. Maybe we can get it going today.
Speaking of, Mark says Happy Mardi Gras. That's going to be this coming Tuesday, so we won't be live for it. But when I moved to California, my best friend and I it took us, I think we did 10 days to drive from Michigan to Los Angeles. Because we were doing like brewery stops, and we were huge into micro beers and everything, and I also wanted to see a bunch of cities that I'd never been to. Denver, I'd never been to St. Louis, so it just so magically happened, Papa Dude, we were in St. Louis Tuesday night for Mardi Gras. Didn't know it until we got there, and we're like, oh, there's gonna be Mardi Gras tonight, so we got to see a parade. Have you ever been to St. Louis for Mardi Gras?
No, I have not. I believe it or not, I never was into Mardi Gras. There's two places I never was into. One is New Orleans. I have no interest in it, none whatsoever. And I really am not a Las Vegas type of guy as well. I'm just not. I've seen enough naked women. I don't need to see them walking down the middle of the street. I don't need to see that. So it doesn't entertain me. They're just. Have I ever earned any beads? No. I have a story, but it's X-rated, so we better not.
We'll save it for the OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I still think I have them. So I'm looking around; they're not in here. I think I have them in my room that got beads that the hotel we were staying at was just like, they had like a big giant basket, and if you're going out to the parade, just grab a couple handfuls. And we didn't throw them because February in St. Louis isn't necessarily the time that you get what I'm saying here, but it was very cool. But so we kept them, but I've got them. But that was a lot of fun. But the big reason we were in St. Louis is because of the Budweiser Brewery Tour, which not a Budweiser fan, not a Budweiser drinker, but that brewery tour was pretty damn awesome.
It's
so if
pretty
you're ever in St.
cool,
Louis, I recommend going there for the. Let's see, we went there for an 8 a.m. tour, 8:30. Yeah, because we had a special like private tasting beforehand with like the brewmaster. Yeah. And we thought it sounded cool, and then all of a sudden we left at 9:30, 10 o'clock, and we realized all we'd had for breakfast that day was about 5 beers each. So we were like, oh boy. We just kind of walked till we found the first donut stand, and then we each ate like 5 donuts. So sugar on top of alcohol. We were feeling pretty good a couple hours later.
I know they do St. Patrick's Day very well in St. Louis as well. That I do know for sure.
So, all right, well, that's next month. I guess I had to come back for that one. So.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, let's talk about some sports today. We got 3 games. We'll talk about one from each of the other various sports playing. We'll start with Colorado Avalanche at the Florida Panthers. And I feel like we talk about this quite often on the show, these 2 matchups. But tale of 2 different teams popped in. The Avs have lost 3 straight. The Panthers have won 5 of 6. Of course, they're at home, total 6.5. Where are you going?
Well, you think they're panicking a little bit in Colorado? They might be.
Yeah.
I mean, the games have been really tough that they've had. They've had a really rough stretch. And you just wait for them to bust out of it. This is not an ideal place to try to bust out of it. That's the thing. Florida's good. They're going to be ready. I'm going to go with the Panthers to win. I just don't like the way Colorado's playing right now. They need to get back home.
Yeah, they absolutely do. They've lost 3 straight. Like I said, they've allowed 10 goals in their last 2 games. The power play is 0 for 12 in that 3-loss stretch, too. So you're right. They need to get home. The Panthers, like I said, won 5 of their last 6. In each of those 6 games, they've allowed 2 or fewer goals. So I think the Panthers win this, and I don't think it's really that close. A game that is supposed to be close. We'll talk about your Oklahoma City Thunder at the Dallas Mavericks. And the Thunder favored on the road by 2 points here with the total at 239.5. What do you think about this one?
This is a tough game. The Thunder struggle with Dallas. They always have. Here's the deal with the Thunder. They are so much fun to watch. If they're hitting the 3, they're almost unbeatable. They really are, because they got more than one guy. And if you haven't watched them and you like the NBA and they're hitting 3s, you talk about a fun team to watch. Alexander is incredible. If you haven't seen him, he is just phenomenal for them. But it's a tough matchup, and they got to go to Dallas. Luka usually really hurts them. I picked them tonight because the line's only 2. I think they're better. But they've made a trade. And I don't know whether Gordon Hayward is going to be ready tonight or to play. I don't know for sure on that one. He's going to help them because they need some bulk. So that's going to help them. I took the Thunder tonight. I think they're better than the Mavericks, so that's why I took them.
So from what I'm hearing, they're going to keep Hayward out until after the All-Star break. Okay. So they brought him in, but he's strained calf. They don't want to push it, right? They're making a big playoff push, like eyes at the end of the road here. So no sense in making the big trade there. Dallas also made a couple of trades, and Doncic was so excited because they brought in center Daniel Gafford from the Washington Wizards, which, by the way, Oklahoma City swapped picks with Dallas to try and help make this work. They were kind of involved in a 3-way here, so Oklahoma City helped Dallas get Daniel Gafford, and Doncic said we added a backup center, which I've been asking for 3 years already. So I'm happy we finally got it. So your star is happy. This is the first home game for Dallas after sweeping a 3-game road trip. I'm going to go with Dallas here to pull. It's a minor upset.
Probably a good pick. That's going to be a tough game.
It feels like a toss 'em at this game with a -2. So yeah, I'll take Dallas, but that should at least be a good game. Hopefully a sign of a big playoff Western Conference Finals matchup here. So another big matchup to talk about on the hard court, college basketball. Baylor at Kansas. Number 13 Baylor entering off of a home win versus number 23 Texas Tech. Number 4 Kansas just lost in OT to Kansas State. So the Rock Chalk Jayhawk feeling a little busted in the wing. Where are you going here?
There's some chinks in the armor in Lawrence. They've lost some games they shouldn't. West Virginia's bad. They lost there. Kansas, Central Florida is not bad, but they lost there. K-State had lost 2 or 3 games in a row, and they went out there and lost in overtime. They have no depth. It's hard to believe Kansas has no depth, but they don't. So when their starters get in foul trouble or they're not playing very well, they don't have anybody put in. I like Baylor, maybe not to win, but 7.5 is too many. Give me Baylor plus 7.5 tonight.
Yeah, I've actually already seen the lines up to Kansas -8. I'm going to agree with you on this. I think Kansas wins, Baylor covers. Kansas is 12-0 at home, and they're 19-1 all-time at home versus the Baylor Bears. So I think they'll be able to get the job done. One factor kind of against Baylor as well, their leading scorer this year, Jacoby Walter. Last 3 games, he has not broken double-digit points. And when your top scorer can't get even past it into the 10-point range, and you're playing Kansas, who's coming off of a rivalry game that they know they should have won on the road, and they're red hot at home. So yeah, I'm with you. I think 7.5, 8 is too much to take with Kansas, but they should pull this win out.
Yeah, I think they win. I do. If you can't, I tell you what, there's a lot of teams can't win in Lawrence. There's a lot. Baylor has a history of not doing it, and if you haven't won in there, it gets in your head. And I think it will be. I think they'll play them close. Baylor's good, and they're playing really well right now. I don't think they beat Kansas in Lawrence.
They got a kid. Baylor has a kid named Ray J. Dennis, who's I think he's on his third college team now. He's been around a little bit, but he's Baylor's the highest level that he's played at so far, and he seems to be kind of picking up the slack a little bit. So maybe he can help keep this game close. All right, race of the day. Not a whole lot to pick from, but of course we're going to go with the one Kentucky Derby prep race. Tampa Bay Downs, race 10. It's the Sam F. Davis Stakes. Still have a field of 12 entered in here. The favorites change of command at 3-1, but Tampa gets real goofy, Papa Dude. Where'd you go here?
I don't think there's any Kentucky Derby hopefuls in here. Do you? I just don't see. Not yet. I don't see that they've done a whole lot. I looked at about 4 of them. I looked at the favorite, change of command. I looked at Agate Road. I looked at Copper Tax. And where's the other one? Patriot Spirit. Mm-hmm. Those are the 4 I looked at. Are you looking that away, or you got somebody different besides those 4?
I think that's pretty much it. You could make a case if you wanted to, like Rodney's saying, the 6 Agate Road, if you were trying to beat the favorite change of command. He's at least doing something different, and that he has a closing kick.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah.
This first time on dirt. So do you like betting that angle? It's been on turf, and it's the first time on dirt.
Well, he
debuted
on dirt.
Do what?
He did debut on dirt, so
okay.
It was supposed to be on the turf, so he was beating turf horses. But even then, because he showed that same kick then that he's shown on the turf, if you think this is going to be a pace meltdown, I think this is the logical horse to use. But I don't think it's going to be a pace meltdown because I like the favorite.
Yeah, I did too. I think you got to go with change of command. There is some speed in there, but it's what I call cheap speed. Number 3 is going to go with him, I think, Patriot Spirit. But I've seen that horse not be able to keep the lead, fade real bad. I don't like that against a horse like the 9 that's shown that he can keep the speed or keep the pace up. I think 7's kind of interesting. Had a 5-race winning streak, but it was as a sprinter. And then they put him in a mile and a half, 8th in the Grade 2 Remsen. He was always head for one thing, but he lost by 14 lengths. They're keeping him for another race at a distance, but that is just not good enough for me to pick him. So I'm going to go with the 9, change of command.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that one. I think that the 3 is definitely going to go. The 1 is coming out of sprints where he was on the lead early. I don't think he has a chance, but I think that their only best hope for him is to send a little bit. So I went with the 3. Did you look at the 9 Tireless? This is kind of the other Todd Pletcher here that it feels like this is the horse Pletcher comes into Tampa and wins with. He tried him on turf a couple of times. Didn't work out. Did really well in a mile and an 1/8 dirt race. It was taken off the turf. And the winner that day was who Tireless was running with every step. And then they brought him to Tampa, and he was the 2-5 favorite. But he won by 3/4 of a length. But if you watch, he only got asked barely in the stretch. It was extremely confident ride by the jockey, which I think maybe is why you see a different jockey on him today here. But I think that he's not explosive, he's not exciting, but he has kind of that grinding style and some talent. Did you look at the 2 at all?
Well, yes, I did. And it looks like he's going to be close to the front. And he can go get them. So you can't ever count Pletcher out. And at 12-1, if you think these favorites are beatable, that might be one to throw in there. I don't think these are clear-cut favorites. That's for sure.
The 9 change of command is on our fantasy league too. So when I had my performance review with Aaron and Jared right when he was in his last race, and so we watched the race together. And as he was crossing the finish line, he took the lead, and it seemed like he was going to blow away, and he just hung around and let the other horse come back on him. And as they're crossing, I was screaming. I was like, "Blinkers! Put some blinkers on this horse because he's goofing around." And well, we added blinkers, so I'm glad that Shug McGahee listened and was apparently part of the call for the performance review. But he heard me on that one. He added blinkers, so
Yeah,
Hopefully that can make the difference for us here.
I do, and I like the fact that he's got to win at this distance as well, and so does
Yeah.
Agate Road. But I think these are the clear two favorites: the 9 and the 6.
All right, let's roll into the best bets here. We'll stay at Tampa for mine. I'm going to go back on race 5. It's the Suncoast Stakes. It's just 6 horses in a Kentucky Oaks prep race. And the 3 to 5 favorite is who I'm going with. The number 4, Life Talk. She won the 1 1/8 Demoiselle gate to wire last out, but she doesn't need the lead. She's been keeping great company. Almost won her debut, then dominated her maiden effort at Saratoga second out. 2 times she faced Just FYI. She ran well, just wasn't able to beat her. But Just FYI, you're undefeated juvenile fillies champion. So nothing to shake your head at about that one. So I'm going to go with the 4 Life Talk. Not getting a price, but let's be honest. The way that my 2 picks went earlier this week, I thought, yeah, these are sure things. And then they crapped out, including that 3 to 1. Could have had that. I'm still mad about that 3 to 1 not coming in. So we're going to go with Life Talk here. Did you look at the Suncoast at all?
No, I did not.
That's fine. They're really the only horse that could make it interesting. There's the 2 horses in there, but we're not seeing it's a good local jockey, but this horse is I think a good local horse, and I think she should be, if you want to play a 4-2 exacta cold, that could be a good way to get things across as well. Aaron sticking with Kentucky Oaks, perhaps he's going over to Santa Anita, race 5. It's a loss for Jenna Stakes. It's a grade 3 race, and there's 2 horses in here with big prices. He's going with the Bob Baffert horse, number 3. Kinza just absolutely blew the doors off of everyone on her debut. It was 6 furlongs, so now she's got to stretch out to a 2-turn mile, but Baffert's speed is just, it's different than anything else. So I think that, Aaron thinks this is the next great Baffert superstar. The other horse to watch out for is Copion. It's a Mandela trainee. She's won both of her starts, and she's stretching out for the first time, but she did win the Santa Ynez already at Oaks Prep. So 2 big fillies there. We barely get 1 out of California for the Oaks, but we've got 2 of them in here. So that'll be exciting. I also want to mention real quick, the race 2 on the card, you also have Baffert versus Mandela. You've got Big City Lights for Mandela and Pratt, Hopkins for Baffert and Hernandez. So a couple of small fields for those graded stakes early in the card, Papa Dude, but some exciting races. We would hopefully have a couple of star performances today.
So he likes his Kinza.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Listen, I'm a little more of a fan of Copion, but there's a reason that he's the daily handicapper and I'm the guy that does his bitch works.
You do a pretty good job, Magic.
Listen, I'm good at the bitch work. That's what I'm here for. Let's talk about you. You're going back to the hard court. Let's see if we can get one here. At least you have more than 3 options. Yesterday, I'm not going to blame you for the loss yesterday or poo-poo on you because you had such a small.
I did.
It's like, hey, pick 3 races from Parks.
Yeah, if we were going to do sports, I had 13 games to choose from. That includes the NBA, the NHL, and college basketball last night. And I cannot get the NHL, so that let out about 6 of them. And the NBA was kind of risky last night. I wish I had taken the Lakers, though, because I did like them a lot, but I chickened out. Anyway, today it's just the other way. There's 150 some college basketball games today. And my problem on these best bets is trying to figure out which one I like the best. That's the hard part, and I always pick the wrong one. Because, let's see, I go through it, and I write down ones that kind of hit me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I have 22 that I kind of like today. 22 of them that really stood out. So then I go back and I start trying to figure out, okay, which ones are the strongest? And then I start trying to throw out the ones I don't, Anyway, I know it's boring. But I couldn't really find anything till the very last because they play late tonight, and that's USC and Stanford. And this one's kind of shady. It's kind of shaky, but here's the thing I don't like about Stanford. They're inconsistent. They play really well sometimes, and then they just throw in a clunker. But USC is just bad. They're just bad all the time. They've just been terrible. So I just think this is what jumped out on me. I think it should be more. I think it should be 4 or 5. It's only 2. I think USC's kind of living on their reputation of being decent in basketball over the years, and this year they're not. And Stanford's record's only 11-11, and that's another reason. But I like the Cardinal tonight at -2. I think they cover this if they're ready to go because I think USC's kind of thrown it in. And
Yeah.
Dennis, he says, look at Louisville tonight. Louisville, of course, traditional power in the past, been way down. He likes them tonight. I do too, Dennis. I like them as well. They can play Georgia Tech at home. I think they're coming off a win. Louisville is. I like them as well tonight.
Yeah, Georgia Tech not good on the road. Louisville not winning percentage at home, but they are at least much better. They're they're 1-9 on the road, but they're 6-7 at home. And Stanford also, I'm sorry, USC not a good team. They're 1-7 on the road. Stanford much better at home as well. And the line's actually moved down to -1.5. So if Stanford wins by 2 tonight, we're gonna call that a win. We're gonna count that as a win for you because the line's gone down to 1.5.
All right.
All right, let's get the best bets and then get you out of here and enjoy your Saturday. I'm going to go with, Aaron's going to go with Santa Anita, race 5, number 3, Kins. I'm going to go Tampa Bay Downs, race 5, number 4, Life Talk, and Papa Dude, Stanford, -2. All right, we're 0-6, -600. We're still up for the year. We just, we entered February up $1,500 from January, and February's been very humbling. But we're getting it back. We're going to get it back today, and we'll come out on top again tomorrow. I got a good feeling.
Well, I tell you, when you lose 6 in a row, that total goes down very quickly, right?
Yeah, it's we went yesterday. It was we lost 3, but we're still at 1,200. It's today. Yeah. It's like, oh boy,
it looks really good yesterday. It really does.
All right, let's get that record pumped up. We'll get that ROI back on you. Good luck to everybody playing. Sylvia says you can get her picks over in the Racing Dudes Discord. Make sure you go join that one as well. Yeah, we appreciate each and every one of you for being in the chat. Thank you, Papa Dude. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. I'll be back solo tomorrow for the Super Bowl Sunday show. We'll have that pre-recorded because we're not working Super Bowl Sunday. So we'll have that pre-recorded for you coming out at the usual time here on the YouTube channel. Thanks, everybody. Good luck. See you next time.